Yeah, I'm Lily Gold, and I'm the host of the podcast called Mormon Missionary Stories. I started my podcast because I was listening to a lot of podcasts, and I have a job where it's physical work, and I love it, but I needed to do something to keep my mind engaged and to be learning. I wanted to make the most of it. So I was listening to a variety of shows, and I was enjoying them, but I started to notice that there was kind of a lack of Christianity in the guests and the hosts, and people were apologizing for being Christian or apologizing for sharing Christian views. And I was getting really frustrated with that, and it just kind of started to eat at me and bug me. And then the tipping point for me was one day I was listening, and a guest apologized ahead of time before they were about to share their Christian opinion on something. I got so upset that I took my earbuds out of my ears, ripped them out of my iPhone, and I threw them across the room. And I think I screamed, and I'm like, that's it. And the thing is, I'm not uptight. I can appreciate a lot of different viewpoints, but it had really just come to a head with me, this frustration with just, why do we have to apologize for being Christian? You know, those views are as valid as anybody else's in the world. And I started to think that I wanted to do something about this. And I got this idea that, well, maybe I should create my own podcast. And I have no experience creating podcasts, so this was kind of crazy. Well, before I decided to create my own podcast, I actually started looking through iTunes for a show to listen to that I could add into my day, where I could get some nice, maybe something uplifting, but would still be entertaining. And I started looking through iTunes, and I was finding, there were definitely shows for Mormons, but it was stuff like, it felt like old people reading scriptures and just maybe topics that I wasn't interested in. I was looking for something, yes, uplifting, but also entertaining, not necessarily scripture study. And so I realized that there was like something missing out there in the Mormon genre, the kind of that entertainment value that would still lift. Since I couldn't find it, I decided, well, maybe I should make it myself. And living in, you know, the LDS culture, I thought, well, what do I have access to? What would be accessible for me? And I thought, you know, Mormon missionaries, not only are they super accessible to me, I mean, in my very own family, and then, you know, all through my neighborhood and my social networks do I have access to missionaries, but they have incredible stories. And I think a lot of them, there's a lot of stories that they haven't shared with anybody because they don't have the setting or the format to share them. And I think in a sacrament meeting talk, they have such a short window of time, and they have to really focus on just the few nuggets to take away. And sometimes they even have a topic they're supposed to cover. I just feel like there's so many stories that haven't been told. And there's so many stories that would normally only be shared maybe sitting on a couch with their best friend, that the rest of us maybe would never hear, and there might be stories that go untold, maybe for the rest of their lives, but that we could all take something away from, and also give the missionary an opportunity to share some of these special experiences that they've had. That was how it started. I just decided to go for it. With absolutely no experience, I taught myself everything.